Well, here we are on the water again. So why are we here today, Rob? What's up?
Well, George, we are here to showcase this fantastic yacht by Princess. It's a 2022 Y72. Styling by Pininfarina. The boat's owned in an LLC. And we're here to take you through it and show you everything it has to offer.
Excellent. Can we take a look?
For sure. Let's go.
Very impressive. Look at the size of this thing. This thing's amazing.
George, this boat's incredible, especially on the inside. Why don't we go and take a seat and I'll talk you through it.
Great. Okay, so the big question is, how did this beautiful yacht become available to us?
Well, we custom ordered this boat nearly 2 years ago. We picked out all of the specs and all of the materials, and as much as the current owner loves the boat, it's going to be for sale, and for the right person it's a fantastic opportunity to own a brand new Princess, which would normally take you about 2.5 years right now to order this same yacht from the factory.
Okay, so why don't you tell us what's so special about this yacht?
It's designed in collaboration with Pininfarina, Oleszynski, and Princess Yachts Design, and consequently the exterior and the interior of the boat has got a lot of design features that are very interesting. Every surface has got something going on. Even the most mundane areas have actually got some level of artistry to it, and that's exactly what it is. It's like a work of art. It's really very, very impressive piece of engineering and sculpture. It's got a lot of great lighting. The boat at night is just incredible to see. Apart from anything else, at sea, it's a fantastic running boat. A great boat to go to the ocean with, but just big enough for a crew. You can have it run with a captain and a crew member, or for a more accomplished owner, it can be owner operated as well. So it falls right between those two kind of like classifications of yacht.
So this is obviously an ocean-going yacht. I mean, look at this door.
Oh, it's that's a pilot house door. What's really cool about that is it's got an automatic seal, so as you pull the door close, it actually pulls the door in and seals it so it's watertight. So if you're out in heavy seas, you're not going to get any water coming through there.
So you've been on the ocean in this yacht. What was that like?
Yeah, actually, I picked up the boat on the transit from the port. The boat came into Ensenada, into Ventura, and then Ventura up to San Francisco. I actually went to Monterey, and the captain that was running the boat up for us picked me up there. And we were out in probably 4 to 6 foot beam 2 seas. And what I was really impressed with was just how quiet the boat is. We were cruising at 27, 28 knots. We had the fin stabilization system going, and the boat was very level at those speeds, very comfortable. And actually the captain said he's never done a transit from Ventura to San Francisco in such a short period of time. We kind of left at daylight and ended up in San Francisco at 6 o'clock in the evening, even with a fuel stop in Monterey to pick me up. Very, very impressed with this boat at sea.
You know, when you look at this boat, I mean, look at this salon, look at the size of this. I mean, it just looks massive.
It is. It's I'd say sometimes it's almost an optical illusion sometimes, because when you look at the actual dimensions of the boat and then you come on board, it always feels much bigger than the dimensions would have you believe. And I think that's testament to Princess design. They spend a lot of time thinking about the size of the windows, the height that you sit at when you're looking out the windows, and the material selection. The light of the materials makes the boat feel bigger. Sometimes can be a little bit more difficult to keep clean, but generally speaking, the materials are pretty hardy. So yeah, it's a great space, and the flow. What I like about Princess is their floor plans really flow. There's nothing about this boat I look at and say, you know what, I think they could have done a better job here, they could have done a better job there. It's almost the opposite. You're just absolutely blown away with just well thought out every single aspect of it is. And each generation of boat that they come up with, this is the, like I say, the predecessor was the F70, this is the Y72. It's similar in a lot of ways in terms of the layout, but all the little features, all the little improvements, it's just them learning from customer feedback about what they can do better. And, you know, great boat, the F70 and the F68 before it, but this boat is just on a next level to that. And that's why it's been so popular.
Looks like you can accommodate a lot of people here.
Yeah, if you look around, you know, I count the seats, you know, there's probably actual seating inside of this boat for maybe 14, 16 people without falling over one another. The boat is rated for 20 people, so if you've got a couple of crew, you know, maybe a stewardess, you know, that gives you up to 16, 17 guests underway. And, you know, that's not even using the cockpit area to count in that. So it's a lot of space for entertaining, lots of space to move around when you're underway. I particularly like the companion seat next to the helm. That's a great spot for guests to sit and enjoy the boat running underway with the captain running the boat or with your helmsman running the boat.
Take us on the bridge. This is pretty unique up here. What is this fly bridge all about?
This is like entertainment central up on the fly bridge. You have a wet bar, which has got its own refrigerator, ice maker up there, a sink and a grill. That's really your entertainment space. The upper helm has got pretty well everything up there that you have on the lower helm. And then you've got ample seating up there for 6, 8, 10 people. And what's really special is the rear-facing sun lounge. That seems to be the configuration that everybody has been going for, rather than putting the tender up there. That enables you to then have the rear-facing retractable sunshade that comes out, and with the glass railing at the back there, provides you with a little bit of deflection from the wind if you're sunbathing. And then the other really cool thing about the hardtop there is they've gone for a louver-style sunroof. In the past, they've used or other boat manufacturers have used like a cloth sunroof that retracts, and I think over a period of time they have a tendency to leak. So this is a different way of doing it. It's very watertight and enables you to vary the amount of ventilation and sunlight that's coming through to that space. The whole of that upper area is all teak deck, so it's a really warm feel up there, and plenty of room to seat 6 or 8 people around that dining table if you want to have dinner up there, al fresco style.
Can you talk about this galley? This is very impressive. I mean, look at the stove and the refrigerator, nothing but the highest quality.
Yeah, again, all the appliances are German appliances, very high quality. The galley has stand-up refrigerator and freezer unit. The oven is a real oven with a microwave, convection microwave facility. You have a dishwasher. You've got an ice maker down here too. You've got a couple of places for your trash can drawers, and you have a sink with a 4-burner cooktop with its own ventilation fan. So little step down to get in there, so you've got that headroom, and yeah, a nice space. What I particularly like is with this new boat, again over its predecessor, you've got the bar stools, the set-up bar stools. So it's a nice kind of place for people to sit when somebody's prepping food or cocktails, to kind of socialize with whoever's in the galley. And the whole area just all flows really nicely. It's central to the cockpit, it's central to the rest of the boat. So this aft and up galley configuration for these boats these days is the configuration of choice. The whole industry has gone this way, and you can see why. It gives you the opportunity to have a pass through to the galley with the way that the door opens up. So really cool layout.
You brought up the fin system earlier. Can you talk about that?
I mentioned we picked up the boat from Monterey and was out at sea. So with this boat you have a couple of options. You can go with a gyro stabilization system, or you can go with the fin stabilization system, or you can go with both. Both is what we're beginning to learn is a little bit overkill from my experience, what I like about the fins is they are vector fins and zero speed fins. So they give you some degree of stabilization at rest, but where you really get the benefit is when you're underway. And when we were cruising at 27, 28 knots, and we were in seas that would normally make the boat roll, that's where you really see the benefit. And I think that's going to be, for some people, that's going to be the game changer between getting seasick on longer runs. So I'm glad that we didn't do a gyro and the fins, because I think that we wouldn't have needed that. And I think that the fins is definitely, in my opinion, the way to go with this particular boat.
How long was the planning process of putting this together? All the idiosyncrasies and all the detail that went into designing this boat. What was involved in that?
It's a kind of an incremental process. It starts initially with deciding things like the configuration and the layout of the boat, like the flybridge layout. Do you want the tender up there, or do you want the sunbed arrangement? You've got a couple of engine options, and then your first round of decisions is locking in all those things, plus all your ancillary equipment, the size of your generator, any other items like a water maker and things like that, all the practical stuff. Once you have all of that locked in, then you move on to figuring out what wood that you want the boat to be built with, material you're going to make the sofas from, and there's hundreds of different options for these materials. And then you get right down to even picking all the materials for the cushions throughout the whole boat, and the bedding and all that sorts of things. I would say it probably takes about a 3 to 4 month period to lock all those specs in. Once that's done, it really takes them about 9 to 12 months to actually build the boat from beginning to end. But we have to have a lot of those decisions made and a lot of those specs done, because they have to order things from the factory, like the engines, and they've got longer lead times and everything else.
This is a very impressive engine room, I mean, for sure. What's this boat got for power, and what kind of performance can we really expect from it?
This engine room is very well laid out. The boat has twin MAN V12 1650 horsepower engines. That was the bigger option that you could choose when speccing the boat. This boat will do 32 to 34 knots at wide open throttle, and it happily cruises between 26 and 28 knots. As I mentioned on the run up from Monterey, when you look around the engine room and you can see the engineering that goes into it, one thing that really stuck out for me was there's this steelwork that has been installed, and it's like RSJs, mini RSJs in there. And when I actually looked at it closer, you could see that it was a suspension system for the floor that we're actually stood on right now, because the engines are directly below us. And that floor is then separated from the rest of the stringer system and the engine room by engine mounts. And that is exactly the sort of level of detail that Princess go to make this boat run with minimal vibration, and things like that is what's resulted in it being so quiet when we're underway. It's incredibly quiet given the amount of horsepower this boat has, even with the doors open. And that's the kind of next level that Princess go to make your experience when you're running this boat, next level.
This boat makes its own water?
It does. We installed a water maker on board with a filtration system. So when you see, if you're at anchor and you're not at the dock, then you can make enough water to replenish the tank, so that people can have showers every morning without having to worry about running out of fresh water. Okay,
there's something here you're really going to have to explain to me. The power system on this boat, generator, AC, can you explain? There's something really special about that.
Well, one of the options that we installed on the boat was an inverter with its own set of batteries, dedicated set of batteries to the inverter. What that allows you to do is it allows you to run things like low current drawing AC without having to have your generator all plugged into shore power. So a great example of where that would be very useful is if you're maybe at Catalina on a mooring bore where you're not allowed to run your generator at night, but you want to watch television, you want your refrigeration to work, and you want to plug your iPhones and everything in to charge your iPhones. And with this inverter system that we installed, that enables you to do that.
Lastly, I see a very cool Williams tender there. What equipment does this thing have on it?
Again, it was custom ordered for this boat. It was all the material and the sponsons were all picked, color coordinate with the boat. We ended up putting its own fusion sound system on. It's got courtesy lighting, it's got underwater lights, it's got its own chart plotter, it's got its own ski pole, so you could actually go out and water ski on that thing, and with different modes for cruising and skiing and what have you. So it's been installed at the factory by Princess to be custom installed and fit the swim platform. I really like the size of the tender on for this boat. It's big enough to do what we need it to do, but it's not so big it overtakes the swim platform that you'd be constantly wanting to take it on and off. So it's a great little piece of kit. While we're back there, you might have noticed in the pictures there that we have a shower, a removable carbon fiber shower, very ultra modern designer shower head that fits in the corner of the swim platform there. So that's a very cool feature too.
The foredeck looks very unique, very modern.
It's a very clever use of the space. When you get to these bigger yachts, it gives you a bit more real estate to play with up there. What I like about what Princess have done is you have, not only do you have the forward-facing sun lounges, but you have the ability to lift up backrests to form a face-to-face seating configuration. And we then also spec'd out a sunshade that can be installed up there. The components stow down below in the crew quarters. So you know, if you want to be out in the sun, you don't have the sunshade up. But if it's too hot and you want to get out of the sunshine, then it's a really nice piece of equipment to have up there.
You know, as I look forward from the salon, it looks like that's the access to the guest staterooms. What's down there?
What's down there is there's 3 staterooms. The forward stateroom is the VIP guest. That's en suite. That has its own TV, its own name audio system. The shower's got its own rain towel shower and a handheld shower as well. And then as you walk aft from there, you have the guest bathroom on the port side, which is also en suite to the port cabin. And then you have another cabin on the starboard side. Both of those cabins have single berths, and what's really cool about those single berths is by the press of a button you can actually move the beds together and they convert into a double bed. While you're down there in the hallway there, you have both a washer and a dryer, separated units tucked away behind those beautiful doors.
There's a beautiful spiral staircase here off the main salon. Where does that take us?
That beautiful spiral staircase, which has got incredible lighting underneath it as you walk down, goes down to the master cabin. And the great thing about that spiral staircase is it gives you some privacy from the rest of the staterooms. So at night you've got a little bit of separation between the master room and the other rooms. Plus when you get down there, you've got a centerline bed with nightstands either side. You have a sofa sitting area. You have a workstation with its own power and USB ports and a vanity underneath. And then as you walk back, there's like a changing area with full height hanging closets. Behind the headboard is your master bathroom, which has got twin sinks, your toilet, and again a really nice shower with a rain towel shower in the roof and a handheld shower itself. Huge TV down there with its own name audio as well.
This master suite is really amazing. How does it differ from the F70?
The main difference between the 72 and its predecessor is the fact that the 72 is about 4 or 5 feet longer than the 70. That's enabled them to do a different layout in the whole master suite. They now put the bathroom behind the headboard with that extra space, which is a much more user-friendly, flowing kind of configuration. The predecessor would have had the bathroom forward of the berth. So a lot more going on down there, bigger windows, much more open, airy, better utilization of that floor space in that part of the boat.
As you know, I'm pretty much of an AV guy, and from all the systems that I've seen on board this thing, it's pretty amazing. Can you kind of fill us in?
Yeah, this boat is utilizing the name audio system, and that's throughout the boat. In the master suite and in the salon, you've got surround sound, which is tied to the TVs, but each other stateroom has got its own name audio, and the outside spaces too. So the cockpit, flybridge, and the foredeck have all got their own Bluetooth name audio sound system. There is also a inbuilt Wi-Fi system with that main name audio in the salon, which acts as the ship's Wi-Fi.
I understand that you access the crew quarters and engine room from the transom door. Is that correct?
Yes, you enter the crew quarters through the transom. A good thing about that is the captain can go from the helm to the crew quarters, and when you go down into the crew quarters, you'll see down there that there is 2 single beds. It's a really nice space. It's finished out just the same as all the other cabinets, although they're using a more durable surface for the flooring rather than carpet, because obviously you were walking in and out there with shoes on. And then from there you walk into a really cleverly designed crew quarters bathroom. There's a shower on the port side, and then the toilet is on the starboard side, and as you close the door behind you and then you keep the door into the lazarette closed, then that becomes a private bathroom that nobody can enter. But it also serves as a pass-through into the lazarette, and in the lazarette is where all the ancillary equipment, your batteries and your generator and everything else, and then another door into the engine room. So everything that the captain would want to be doing is between that door and the pilot house door without interfering with the rest of the guests.
Well, thanks so much for taking us through this beautiful yacht. If there's somebody who's interested or would like to take a tour through this boat, how's it best to get a hold of you?
The best way to contact me is directly on my cell, which is 415-342-2447, or email me at my email, which is rnewman@silverseasyachts.com. There is a full listing on our website, www.silverseasyachts.com, and then obviously we'll have this video posted all over our social media, so don't forget to like us and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube.